So one of the component in the on-page SEO is the URL structure as well. How should URL look like? What should be part of URL? Okay, so that is also part of on-page SEO. But 90% of the times for the dynamic websites, it will be site level SEO because you don't plan it for one by one pages. It will be planned at the top level, and the same approach will be followed for the complete website. Okay. So everyone, today we are starting with site level SEO. Yeah, and I think we have missed out on few things. So before we start site level SEO, let's quickly look into the guidelines or instructions and how the site level SEO that you do plays a role. See, your title and description will be shown. The meta title and the meta description that which we wrote yesterday shows up on Google like this. So just brand optimization. There's no impactful statement or keyword optimization done here, right? So you have the guidelines. Yesterday we have discussed. It has to be less than 70 characters and couple of other things. There has to be a CTR trigger in your title. What is CTR trigger? I guess we have discussed this several times earlier, correct? What is CTR trigger? Basically, you can simply, that's correct, but you can put it in this way. Anything that triggers them to click on your ad result, correct? Anything that triggers you to click on the ad result is a CTR trigger. And what triggers them is something that you have to identify as a business owner. You know your target markets. See, somebody who stitches, the boutique person knows what will make you to show interest in the product or service. They will speak to you about various designs, new movies, new serials. Correct. They'll speak about a new movie or new serial heroine or a celebrity wearing the designs. So that's how you pay attention to it, and you will blindly nod your head. Okay, okay, you can do that. That is your weakness, and that is the attention grabbing element for them. That's what makes you to pay them, right? Same way here, you have to bring in something that interests them, right? So they don't speak about the stories. So I stitch 100 pieces every month, 1000 pieces every month. That's not interesting, correct? What is interesting to you? You want something trending, something appealing, correct? Something that's new in the market. If they say 1000 piece, 100 piece, that's not going to influence, that's not going to decide. But the moment they speak about your pain points, that's interesting. They are solving your pain point or the problem. Sometimes you will be price centric. The moment they say we do at only 50% of the price what everybody else charges, that can be a CTR trigger. Correct? So in the previous classes also we have discussed many such examples of CTR trigger. Do you all remember? So somebody who is looking for a digital marketing course, what can be a CTR trigger for them? What can be a CTR trigger for them? If you are writing a digital marketing course related web page titles and descriptions, or digital marketing service, if a business is looking for digital marketing services, if a client is looking for digital marketing services, so what is that they are expecting from you? Expecting what makes them to click on your title, click on your search results. When will somebody searching digital marketing institute will click on this result? Budget friendly. So you mentioning that lowest price in the market can be a triggering thing? Could be. So students will be price centric, price constant because they have to spend from their pocket. And next is placements. Yes, that's also true. The biggest pain point is placements. See, if, they know that price here and there, they can anyways negotiate or whatsoever. The biggest pain point is placements. If you are selling vegetables, what can be the biggest triggering point or element that you could speak about it? Vegetables not budget friendly, they will be by default whatever the market price is. Tomato 100 rupees kg, 100 rupees, they won't come down to 50 rupees, right? What is triggering element is the freshness of the vegetables, correct? If you go to the market, you look for freshness, unspoiled one, not rotten one, correct? You want the best, it should not be rotten, correct, everybody? So if you are providing website development or design services or digital marketing services, what is the triggering point that you would speak to the public? a CTR trigger. Okay, that's the exercise for all of you. I want you all to think and come back to me about that. Okay, so same way meta title writing guidelines also we have discussed yesterday. It has to be less than 175 characters, 170 characters. You have to use a call out statement, call to action. Call to action is buy now, register now, explore now, and call out statement is any statement that helps them to take the decision. You are struggling between two institutes. Which institute should you register? The moment I say 100% placement or 100% best knowledge imparted, or maybe we will help you with the practical projects at the desk, this all could be the decision making. The other party is not providing them, right? Any statement that helps you to take the call decision, right? You're planning to buy a phone in 20,000 or 10,000 budget, but almost everything same. You're confused which brand phone should you buy now. The moment somebody says you don't have to charge for lifetime, that is impressive, right? That is the one thing that's making you to take the decision now, correct? Any statement that helps you to take the call or decision is called as call out statement. Have a call out statement in your description. That's what makes people to click more on your search results. Correct, everyone? Yeah. Yeah. So on the web page we have also discussed about the heading tags, and heading tags there are 6 different heading tags, H1 to H6, and you are supposed to use only one heading tag, one H1 tag. H2 also only one, and H2, H3, H4 you can use any number of your choice. But H1 and H2 has to be used only once on the web page, right? It should not be too lengthy. Try to keep it short, and it has to be keyword focused. Clear? And this is how you write the heading tag. HTML has opening tag and closing tag. This is opening tag and this one is closing tag. Same way you have opening tag and closing tag. Okay. SEO optimized content also we follow the same guidelines where we incorporate the keywords. We make sure that the high search volume keyword is used at least twice and rest of the keywords at least once in the content, and it has to be naturally incorporated on the web page. It should be meaningful. You should not be stuffing the content with the keywords, right? Those are all the guidelines. Cover all the selling and marketing elements regarding the particular web page, right? Okay, so that's the summary of yesterday's topic on page optimization. It's clear, right? Alt tags, if you're using alt tags, you're going to use the keywords, or if you have something highly relevant, the person, you know that person name also, that name becomes the alt attribute text. Okay, so coming to the site level SEO. So the difference between site level SEO and on page SEO is on page SEO is specific to that web page. If it is digital marketing service, you will have digital marketing related keywords. If it is web designing, you will have web designing. If it is SEO training, you will have SEO training related keywords, and everything is made around those specific keywords, which is unique from page to page. Okay, specific for respective page. But when it comes to site level implementation, the implementation is common across group of pages or for the complete website. It's going to be the same for large set of web pages or for the complete website. Okay, so now you have training pages, Java course, .NET course, Python course, digital marketing course, SEO course, Amazon course. So now you don't have to write a custom unique titles for every web page separately. You just write something like this. This will be always filled with course name, this will be filled with city. See, Java training in Bangalore, Java will be replaced with data science. Data science will be replaced with digital marketing. We call them as template titles and descriptions. Okay, so this will be implemented by developers in the code, or you can work on the Excel sheets when you have list of courses. We do thousands of pages will be optimized in few minutes. We write titles and descriptions for thousands of pages in few minutes using concatenation formula in the Excel sheets. Okay, I'm not sure if anybody here knows concatenation in the Excel. May know or may not know, that's a different thing. Okay, but that can be easily implemented. Okay, second thing is breadcrumbs. I'll show what are these breadcrumbs. These are breadcrumbs. You see here, this product belongs to a category called Fryums, and Fryums belong to Kandra Foods homepage. Hierarchy, basically indicating the hierarchy. Okay, so sorry, you are all following it, right? Breadcrumbs are hierarchy indicators and help. So this is very heavy file, 300 plus pages. Help you understand the stage or level you are on the website, they are on the website. If the bots has to understand the way the real user understand the hierarchy, you have to implement the breadcrumb schema. Okay, so you are understanding this is a child page which belongs to a parent called Fryups, correct? And parents belong to grandparents, or what you call that as, whatsoever it is, the upper level, indicating hierarchy. So if search engines have to also understand the same way how you are understanding, you have to wrap this with something called as schema, breadcrumb schema. Okay, I'll show it to you how it looks like, right? See, one thing, whenever I say schema, so before that, I'll take an example. So if you're on a website, okay, let me take this website. You read this number 156 as the price, correct? But if a bot is, we all are real users, correct? We all see this as 156.44 and we see this rupee symbol and we understand this is price of the product, correct? If bot is visiting this, bot doesn't understand this as the price of the product. It just sees this number as number 156.45 is a number for bot. Okay, so bot sees this as a text but never understands the title of the product. Bot sees this number 120 as only numbers, on reviews as only piece of text. If they have to understand the way how we understand, we have to speak in a language. So for example, let's assume all of us here in this class knows only Telugu and Kannada. Now if I have to communicate something to you, which language should I be speaking? Which language should I speak to you all now? If you don't know English, if you know only your mother tongue, if I have to explain something to you, which language should I be speaking to you?
Either in Telugu or Kannada.
Kannada. If you know both Telugu and Kannada, I have to speak in one of the languages, right? So same way, if you have to communicate something to the Google bot, the way how you want to help Google bot understand the way how you and I understand, we are using a language that Google bot uses called as schema. What is that? Not schema. Schema.
Schema.
Not schema. 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 Okay, not kaima or kima. Okay. Okay. So now, how do we use that language? Should you also be learning that language? Is that necessary to learn that language? No, it is not really necessary to learn that language. You just have to understand in this room who all speaks Kannada, who all speaks Telugu, who all speaks Hindi, who all speaks Marathi, Bengali, Nepali, Chinese, whatsoever it is. Okay, that's all. As a digital marketer, you don't have to really learn that language. Just understand there is somebody to always take care of it, right? Exactly. Google has built that language or instructions for all of us. We have to send these instructions to our website developers and they will be knowing it. Okay, they'll be knowing it. Okay, so look at this, don't worry. So award winners, this is the title. So breadcrumbs, position 1, 2, 3. Okay, so first title is award winners. The page, where is it? One is books. First department is books. The category is science fiction, and the book name is award winners. 3 levels, 1, 2, 3. You understand? Now books is wrapped with this information. Now science fiction is wrapped at the type, list item, position 2, name, science fiction, item, the URL of that page. So now this term, what you see here, fryomes, is wrapped with this language. What you see here is fryomes is wrapped at type colon list item position colon 2. Name is fryomes. Item is the URL of the fryomes. So if I hover at the left bottom, what do you see? Category slash fryomes. Correct? That's the hierarchy. Okay. So first one, you see home, and home is here. Home. Instead of home, it's books here, and this is wrapped with name, item. See, item is same. Books name is same. Position is one. At type list item is same. Before starting off that, you are telling a context schema.org type is breadcrumb. See, type we are going to learn so many breadcrumbs, rating schema, review schema. We are going to use the respective names, and for that we have a very detailed guide which you don't have to learn but have to know. Have to know that there is something called as schema.org exists. You search for anything here, it gives you the instructions of or methods of implementing the respective type of schema. So if you are a product, see, these are all learning material or instructions for the website developers. So microdata, RDF, JSON, there are different types languages which is used by developers. So product schema.org, context schema.org, type is product, aggregate rating. This is rating value, review count. So for product, you have to implement product schema. There are different types of schemas. Okay, product schema, rating schema, review schema, author schema, recipe schema. Okay, organizational schema, right? So see, basically schema is nothing but it can be any information. You are just wrapping it with the language that what Googlebot understands. Book schema is nothing but you are wrapping how a chocolate is wrapped in a chocolate paper. You are wrapping the term which is put on your website in that language which will be seen in the source code, not here. Source code. See breadcrumb. You see that here? Okay. So don't worry about it. Just understand there is something called as schema, a language that which is used to help Googlebots understand the product information or any content the way how you and we all understand, the way how we all understand, right? So the beautiful thing is if Googlebot is understanding the information the way how we all understand, you know what it does? Look at this. The moment it understands the way how you and I understand, it's going to produce a result like this. It shows star rating on Google. You see that? 31,000 reviews rated, everybody rated 5 out of 5. This is how it shows on Google. Okay. See, everyone has implemented it, right? So not only that, you take any product, site colon canvafoods.com. You see, in stock, out of stock, the price, minimum range, maximum range. It gives all that information. You see that here? So what will this make? This makes it look attractive and people will start clicking on it. Right? The moment you see 5 out of 5 and it's all interesting, see this can impact negatively also if it is shown out of stock. So see, look at this. So it's showing out of stock. See, equally there is a disadvantage as well. People will not click on it and people will click on the second results. Correct? So sometimes it can be negative thing also, and there is no assurance of Google showing you the schema, the what you see here on Google. See, look at this. See, is it showing star ratings here? It's not. There is no guarantee, but then still it will be understanding it very well, easily. Okay. Ibrahim, are you living? Close that these things. Okay. Yeah. So now if you are implementing schema, you are helping bot to understand the way how we all understand. See, in return, bot, what is the favor bot is doing is bot gives a rich presentation for your website on Google. Hence, the outcome is called as rich snippets. Rich presentation of information pertaining to your web pages is a rich presentation. With this one implementation, you got a rich presentation on Google search results. This is helping to improve the CTR, correct? You all know what CTR is, correct? This is one of the way or method of improving CTR. And second thing is, the moment it understands easily, it considers the web page to be as a content rich web page, right? See, if you're understanding the subject, you will be happy, correct? You will be easily storing it in your memory, correct? If you're not understanding, what happens, you have to read it 100 times, correct? So same is the scenario. The moment Googlebot understands the information on your web page or website easily, it starts ranking it well, it gives importance, it starts crawling your web page quite often, right? You are improving CTR, you are improving engagement, you are improving crawl stats as well. The crawl frequency of your web page also will be improved when bots treat this to this page as a content rich web page. Okay, so you understand now implementing schema or rich snippets is super important. Okay, see now there are so many types of schema: product schema, review schema, rating schema, recipe schema. So now how do you identify which schema to be implemented on your website? See, your end goal is to show ratings like this on Google. You can implement review schema, correct? But meanwhile, you also realize you are an e-commerce portal and it's a product. Instead of review schema, now you can implement product schema, right? And on your web page, you are selling on your website, you are selling books, so you will implement book schema. Your website is speaking about events, like how Book My Show says movie starts at 4 a.m., 4 p.m., whatsoever. They are all called as events, date and time indicators. They all can be tagged with the schema called as event schema. Your organization information is on the web page and you can wrap it with the organization schema, article schema, event schema, book schema, author schema, recipe schema, rating schema, review schema, product schema. There are many more schema types, right? So you refer to this, okay, book schema if you want to book schema, and I have already put this schema.org here somewhere. Let me mention that again. Okay, okay, advantages, I have written the advantages as well. The schema implementations will produce rich snippets on Google. Rich snippets is the rich presentation on Google search results, and this will play a crucial role in CTR. A positive information will impact the CTR positively, and the negative information will impact the CTR negatively. I showed you example of positive and negative. Out of stock is negative, right? Amazon will show 1 star. Everybody must have reviewed that product 1 star, correct? You are not happy with that product and you have reviewed it as 1 star. When schema code is implemented on the web pages, the web pages are considered to be as the content rich pages, and bots prioritize to crawl them or naturally would visit the pages often. They can start, they treat this them to be as a content rich web pages. See, if I'm sitting quiet here, you will consider me as a dumb fellow and you would not feel like to come for a class at all, correct? If I am presenting it all properly, explaining it all properly, you might find it interesting and you will be engaged with the class, correct? Same way, when you implement schema, bots consider the web pages to be as informative pages, content rich web pages, and when they believe that your web page is content rich, informative, right, they'll start visiting your web pages quite often, and this is naturally improving the crawl frequency of your web pages. Clear, everybody? Any questions with regard to scheme in the interview? That's what you all are telling from day one, but when I ask, shall we proceed to the next topic? Any questions? Everybody? No questions? Okay. So now there is something called, see now, whatever we do here is all to create convenience for Googlebot. Convenience for Googlebot, or to improve the crawl stats of the website, or create convenience for the end user or customer to improve the CTR and engagement. If you are trying to create a convenience for end user, the customers or all real people, it is all about CTR and engagement. If you are creating convenience for bot, you are helping bot to crawl your website quite often, and that is nothing but improvement in the crawl frequency. These are the three metrics, right? Crawl frequency, CTR and engagement, which decide the success of your business, right? Everyone, are you all following it? Crawl frequency, CTR and engagement. So there is one such implementation. We understood schema is going to help improve crawl frequency as well as CTR, correct? Correct. So there's one more such implementation, not such, it's a different implementation, but help improve your crawl frequency, that is XML sitemaps. Okay, XML sitemaps, they may not improve the crawl frequency but creating the convenience for bot. Somehow in the journey they are supporting. Okay, see, through XML sitemaps you are communicating certain details to bots, like for example, when was the web page created on the website, right? So when was the web page created on the website, and is it really an important page for your business, right? And when did you last change any content on the web page, and how frequently you change content on the web page? Are you all following me? Last modification, a web page, you have to give a link, you have to supply link, you have to tell to bot, these are the web pages on my website, these are the web pages on my website, and I change content every day or every week or every month or every year or lifetime. I don't change any content on these web pages, and priority of these pages for me, the importance or priority is highest for me, lowest for me, medium for me, right? And when did I last modify or change the content on this web page? See, these are the kinds of details we are going to provide to Googlebot. Now, with these kinds of details, Googlebot starts. See, ideally speaking, a decade back, Googlebot used to consider all these details and visit your website and crawl your website. But now, Googlebot is not really crawling your website with these details. It is simply using those details to cross check. Whenever Googlebot finds a URL on internet, it just cross checks, has this business owner submitted the URL in sitemap or not. So it's something like this. So I'll be giving you 10 different instructions or inputs about tips, basically tips to clear the interview, right? So back to a month, you must be using only those. You must be using only those instructions, or maybe previous batch, everybody must be using only those instructions to prepare for the interview. Now the recent batch, what they are doing, they are listening all to those instructions. They are keeping it with them, right? The moment whenever they finding it is relevant, they are applying that instruction or tip in the interview. Otherwise, they are not really using all of the tips or instructions, or they are not really. It's completely their decision. They might decide not to use also, right? So same way, you are telling that we have an URL. The priority is high for me. A lot of things to the bot, and bot would decide, should it be, bot will decide, is that going to consider or not to consider, right? XML sitemaps are basically, XML is again a language. XML is again a markup language. X stands for, I forgot. Yeah, extensible markup language, XS, extensible markup language. So using this language we are communicating certain details to bot. So this is how we do. Look at this. We are putting an instruction url set xlmns and sitemaps.org/schema/sitemap.point9. Few people write, right, home Sairam to start something, right? It's something like that. Starting of the page they are telling that this is an XML sitemap, and then we are going to provide details about an URL. Where is the location, where is the content sitting? URL is sitting at this path. Change frequency, how frequently the content changes. Change frequency we are putting weekly. And last modified, when was content last modified, date, today, or what is the actual date. Priority 0.1 or 0.02 to 1.0 is the priority number. 1.0 indicates highest priority and zero point 0.1 indicates lowest priority. If this web page is really an important web page for you on the website, for bots to come and crawl, you can indicate priority as 1.9, right? Are you all getting it? Understood? This is how. So now when you have few tens of URLs, you will start updating all of them. Okay, I'll show it to you how it looks like. This is how your sitemap looks like. You see, sitemap/agile.xml. Usually by default it will be sitemap.xml, and when you have lots of URLs, we are going to segregate them and create child sitemaps, and we are going to put child sitemaps within the parent sitemap. Okay, so this is parent sitemap, and within it there are so many child sitemaps. Okay, you can by default have your parent. On your parent itself directly you can list all the URLs like this, but there will be a restriction. You are not supposed to have more than 50,000 URLs in one sitemap. Okay, we'll look into the guidelines. Any questions? Okay, so it's purely an information to bot, but it's completely left to bot whether bot is going to consider that info. It definitely considers. It definitely considers cross checks if that information what you have provided and bot is able to find them. Okay, so there are different kinds of sitemaps: image sitemap, web page sitemap, news sitemap, video sitemap. If your content is video, you're going to tell bot the content is video content. Okay, so there are different kinds of sitemaps and there are instructions to build such sitemap. You can simply Google, see, look at this news sitemap, there is a link, image sitemap, there are instructions. Again, you don't have to learn all of these things. You just have to know what kind of sitemap implementation is needed. Correct? You just have to tell whether you need a duplex or an apartment or a 5 BHK bedroom house or 2 BHK house. You are not going to build it, right? Right? At least you should know your requirement. I need a villa. I need a duplex. I need a 3 BHK. Correct? Same way, you should know that what kind of sitemap should be implemented for your website. If you're a news website, go and implement news sitemap. If your website has lots of images, you can implement image sitemaps as well. If your website has videos, implement video sitemaps. Text sitemap is what we have discussed now. There's no difference, just here and there slight changes. Okay, the language. If it is video, you have to indicate how many minutes. right? You have to give the thumbnail. Look at this. This is image. See image location, image link, right? So it's slightly different. If it is video, you are going to give the duration, right? That's about video sitemaps. Okay. Anybody has questions around this? I'll show you the video sitemap also, what you should be writing and how it should be. News sitemap has some guidelines. You cannot have more than 10,000 URLs and you cannot combine other kind of URLs with the news sitemaps. So look at this video sitemap, so big. Location, this is the video location, video thumbnail location, video thumbnail, title of the video, description of the video, right? And then see, based on this information, Google bot will be able to quickly understand what is it all. The video link, where is that posted? The video link, video player, duration, 600 seconds, rating for the video, not review, view count for the video. Say these are all not filled by you. This will be dynamic on the YouTube. You will see, right, views. Now it will be 20,000 views. After a week, you might see it as 30,000 views. Automatically, that 30,000 number will get wrapped. Automatically, that number will be pushed to XML sitemap. So you cannot do anything statically like that. Okay, you understood? That's all. The information, based on this information, bots understand that video thoroughly. You are creating convenience, helping them to understand better about the video. Okay, all this developers will implement, but as a digital marketer, you should be knowing certain things, at least what kind of sitemap to be implemented, and hence we are discussing them. Okay. See, in this sitemap, you need to have. Okay, let me discuss one thing. Okay. There is something called as HTTP status code. HTTP status code. Online Chinese, are you all there? I can't hear you at all, anyone. No one is speaking to me.
Yes, sir.
You're all there, right? Following it, right?
Yes, sir.
Understanding it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So there is something interesting. So now there is something, there is an instruction in this sitemap. You need to add URLs only with status code 200. What is the status code? Nobody knows, right? Correct? At least 144 curfew, everybody knows. What is that? Correct? When there is a violence in the city, they will impose that section 144. Correct? Curfew. What is that? I don't know if you all know it or not. Okay. So what is this 200 status code here? So we will discuss, we will understand that, okay, with an example, okay, with an example, okay. So let's say you are at home and your grandparents or maybe your parents are sitting outside of your home, right? So I am your friend, I am coming to you and asking, is she at home or is he at home, right? If you are at home, what will be the response? If you are at home, what will be the response from your parents? Yes, they are available. They are at home, correct? Now, same way, when you are requesting this URL to the servers, when you are sending this request to the server, right? Server says, server has to respond to it, right? Server has to respond to it. The language that server uses to communicate that he is available, this person is available is, we are using a language or a word, yes, no, in English. If it is Kannada, Telugu, idane illa unnadu ledu, right? Same way now servers use a language in terms of numbers. If this URL is on the server, it uses a number called 200, 200, correct? It sends a response 200, and if it's a browser, it is directly serving the content to the browser. Look at this. If it is serving the content to the browser, it's understood that it is available, it exists on the server. Correct? It is available and it exists on the server. The proof is it's visible. But in server's language, without even visiting this URL, if I have to understand the status of this URL, how do I understand? There are tools again. right? So we understand that exist on the server by using the status codes, right? HTTP status code, we call it as HTTP status codes, right? Now second scenario, I have come to your home and I'm asking your parents, is he at home or is she at home, right? Now you are not there at home. What do they do? What do they tell now? She is not at home. No, she is not at home, right? If the same has to be told by server in its language, server sends a response 404. The server communicates a response 404 not available. I don't have such file on my server that you are asking for. You are asking for learnandtry.com/manju. Is there any such file on the server? No, it's not there. And fortunately that status code is indicated here, printed here. Even if it is not printed here, the server should have communicated 404. But the tech implementation is such that you are also able to see this without even you seeing bots, without seeing this bots understand the response code, right? Now third scenario, I have come to your home and I'm asking, is she at home or is he at home? Your parents, she is not at home, but her sister is at home or her brother is at home. I'm asking, is she at home? They are not telling whether she is at home or not. They are telling sister is home. So I will take a names for convenience. Okay. uh, I'm asking, is Sita at home? Your parents are telling Geeta is at home. Boss, I'm not asking whether Geeta is at home or not. I'm asking Sita is at home. Again they will answer Geeta is at home. Correct? This is called as redirection. Redirection, you are typing something like this. I think the redirection is removed here, doesn't exist. Okay, so that will take you to another website that is called as redirection. And here the status code is, if servers has to communicate in the language, that will be 301. 301 is the status code, HTTP status code. Can you all tell me what does 200 mean? What is available? Content is available on the server. I'm asking for a content, right? This is all content, right? This is all content. Whatever I'm accessing, content is not about text only, image. This is also called as content, whatsoever it is. It says 200 indicates 200 status code. What does 404 indicates? The file or the content that you are looking for in the server or you have asked for is not there with me. A Kirana store owner says it's out of stock, it's not available, but server says 404. It's its language. Correct? 301 is called as permanent redirect and 302 is called as temporary redirect. We'll understand this permanent redirect and the temporary redirect in the upcoming classes in detail. But there are few more status codes, we'll discuss them today. Okay? So now, again, a scenario, I have come to your home asking, are you at home? Okay? I'm asking again and again, is she at home? To your parents, is she at home or is he at home? To your parents. Your parents are not at all responding. They are not responding. Thing is, you could be at home or you may not be at the home. Or you may not be at the home, instead of you, Geeta will be available at home. Correct? But your parents are not telling any of the scenarios and they are strictly not opening their mouth at all. They are not responding at all. For one of the reason is they are busy speaking to someone else and hence they are not answering to you, or they don't want to, or there is some other issue, they are not responding to you. Okay, so similarly something like that happens whether the content is there on your server or not, but the server is not at all responding, that doesn't load. The content can be on the server or may not be on the server. If server is not responding to you, it's indicated by a status code 500, 500, 500. You must have seen that internet not working, 500 server error, 500. I don't know how many of you have observed it. 500 server error. So it indicates the server is not responding. If you are not responding. Going forward, I will new status code 500. Right? Clear, everybody?
Yes, sir.
So now the XML sitemap guidelines indicate that make sure that the URLs with the status code of 200 are put on sitemap. Do not have any other status code URLs in your sitemap. That is the primary first guideline. Second guideline, not to have more than 50,000 URLs. If there are more than 50,000 URLs in sitemap, split into multiple sitemaps, parent sitemaps and child sitemaps, right? And if you have redirected page A to page B, always have page B in your sitemap. Redirection 301. I am asking for samosa and you are sending to me a jalebi page. You know that in this scenario, I know that samosa doesn't exist and hence they are sent to jalebi page. So have jalebi URL in the sitemap and not the samosa URL in sitemap, because samosa URL status code is not 200 now, it is 301, correct? It has been redirected to jalebi, correct? Okay. Yeah. So there is something called as HTML sitemap also. We have discussed XML sitemap now. There is something called as HTML sitemap as well. What is this HTML sitemap? An HTML sitemap is list of all the URLs under the anchor tags on the HTML page, and this will let the bots to pass the crawl energy or link juice whenever they visit the page. HTML sitemap is an HTML page and not an XML page. XML page acts as just a repository of URLs, and whereas HTML sitemaps is a repository for real users or bots as well, and it passes crawl energy to all the URLs listed on the page. Okay, so see, HTML sitemaps, XML sitemaps is just list of all the URLs, but acts as a reference. HTML sitemap, XML sitemap, XML sitemap acts as a reference for the list of URLs pertaining to website, whereas HTML sitemaps take responsibility of building a path for bots to navigate to those pages. Bots to navigate to those pages and help them crawl the web pages and its content effectively. And provides just the information around the URL. Just providing information, it's like an informer, but not really acting. A soldier will kill, a superior authoritative person will go and kill the enemies. But informer, what will he do? He'll just inform. Correct? XML sitemap acts like that. Whereas HTML sitemap acts like a superior or commander who can take the action Okay. So now anchor tag is an HTML tag to make the text clickable and leads the user or bot to the destination page or URL mentioned in the anchor tag. So you must have seen, right, web solutions company, I want to make this clickable. So if you have to make it clickable, you have to use an HTML tag called anchor tag. And this is how it is, ahref equal to, and after clicking, where should they go? They have to go to this page. HTML sitemap is all about making clickable links on the file. You will make it clickable so that bot also visits those pages. Not only real user, bot also visits those pages. HTML sitemaps are a better option or concept that was initially practiced for small static websites. But in the current generation, for the dynamic websites with hundreds and thousands of web pages, the internal linking mesh is the right alternative. I'll show it to you how it looks. See, you can simply put links to different pages from one of the page. So wherever, basically you are creating a convenience for bot to navigate from one page to the other page. A mesh has been built. They are HTML sitemaps. Okay. Don't have any styling or avoid the regular styling for your web page. Do not have the JavaScript or any other kinds of functionalities as much possible in your HTML sitemap. Do not update images and videos on this page. Okay. Clear? Any doubts? So HTML sitemap, I'll show it to you how it looks like. XML I have shown you, right? And now you can consider this as an HTML. Like now think of you having only this, nothing else. See all clickable links leading to respective web pages, one below the other, one after the other, right? So maybe in title HTML sitemap. Okay. See, simply they have listed all the URLs pertaining to the web page. Do you all get that? So simply they have listed all the URLs pertaining to the web page. If bot is visiting this web page, it will crawl or navigate through all of this. See, hardly they have 4, 4, 4, 12, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Less than 100 pages, correct? Less than 100 pages, and they are updating it like this. When you have 20,000 web pages, how will you put it in one page? It will be very heavy, and you are not supposed to put also, right? See, the main purpose of HTML sitemap is to create a convenience for bot to see all the web pages that exist on your page. Now you think of it, when somebody gets into your hall, there is no way to get into the kitchen or to the bedroom. They should go, right. People are getting into your home, but there is no way to go to the washroom. Small websites. If websites are massive, big, on every page we update links like this pertaining to different pages. See, on this page you see this links, right? But when I go to this page, see, remember Safe Agile Product Management online course in India. But when I go to this page, you will see completely different list of links. So do you see Safe here? It's WordPress certification training. See, every page has different set of links. We have built this to make sure bot is able to visit all the web pages put on the website. effectively, because we cannot put all 10,000, 20,000 URLs in one single page. You all understood the difference between HTML sitemap and XML sitemap? Any questions around it? No questions, right? This is this is a very old practice for the small static websites. If you are small static websites, if your website is massive with few thousands or hundreds should come first, hundreds of web pages, you can simply consider building an internal linking mesh which acts like a HTML sitemap and functions the way how HTML sitemap works. In internal linking mesh, you are not going to create any separate HTML files to update the anchor tags. Rather, you just add the anchor, add the hyperlinks. Just add the hyperlinks to the existing web pages. Okay. Clear? No? Okay. So if you have any questions, please ask. If not, we'll wind it up for today and we will discuss next set of topics in the upcoming classes. Okay. Are you all available tomorrow?